Hello and welcome. I'm Jesus Hernandez, a Vietnam veteran. This is the Veterans Business Journey, where we celebrate the achievements of our veterans. Arizona is home for some 600,000 veterans. During the last year, we've had the privilege to honor a few of the brave men and women who have served our country. We've also recognized a number of organizations helping our veterans, like the American Legion. In this edition, we'll take a look at the changing demographics and how they might be impacting our military readiness. And we'll share with you the story of the Arizona Foundation and how it's changing the lives of veterans. Those stories and more on this edition of the Veterans Business Journey. The Veterans Business Journey is made possible in part by the American Legion Department of Arizona, veterans serving our communities, and Sigma Cuts, School of Beauty, the sum of everything beautiful. Welcome back. This is the Veterans Business Journey. I'm Jesus Hernandez. You've probably noticed how the changing demographics are causing social and economic changes. Those changes are also influencing our military readiness. The Veterans for New Americans, a network of influential veterans representing each of the military branches, has begun to address the needs of military service members who are immigrants.
20%, over 20% of Medal of Honor recipients are themselves immigrants. So think about it, 1 in 5 Medal of Honor recipients, the most highest recognition we can give our veterans, are themselves Medal of Honor recipients. So that's something we need to recognize and also celebrate. So one of the things we want to really accomplish is to have our veterans also stand together with our immigrant brothers and sisters in arms.
Veterans for New Americans recently held a panel discussion with a focus on bipartisan support of solutions for immigrant service members, their spouses, and immediate family, both at home and abroad. The aim is to amplify the message that military veterans, as well as active military, want immigration reform that honors the service and sacrifice immigrants have made for our country.
When I read today, and the document that Octavio mentioned, the fact that the Navy, for example, did a study where only 3% of the folks out there are available to join the military. It's a terrifying idea of how we will separate this country in this way, where only very few are willing to go and defend it. And that, that ought to be reconsidered. But as long as we're reconsidering it, we ought to reconsider whether we should exclude immigrants, documented or undocumented, from being available to join that force, as long as they want to join. And inordinately, we know this, they want to join in greater numbers.
When we join the military, we are all trained to see one color, and that's the color of our uniform, green. We don't see white, black, brown, yellow, whatever. We were trained to see one color, and that was green. So the camaraderie stuck with me, and to this day I just believe that immigrants are talented and can contribute to our country, our nation.
My history with immigrants in the military really goes back to my grandfather and his brothers. Who were immigrants coming from Italy, and in World War II all served in that war. And they really thought about it, and the way they communicated to me is they're paying it back to the country that had given their family so much, that they were almost relieved to have the opportunity to go and serve in order to say thank you to the country that had given their family so much.
According to Veterans for New Americans, immigrant service members contribute to the diversity of our armed forces and much needed talent. The organization would like to see immigrants included in our military force readiness plans, support for immigrant service members by providing them an efficient pathway to citizenship.
We've had a lot of immigrants and non-citizens serve Throughout the history of the United States, starting with its Revolutionary War, all the way up to today's conflicts and every conflict in between. And so there are some issues with some non-citizen veterans. In fact, we are deporting them in some instances. We think that's wrong.
There's a huge problem with deported veterans who get out of the military, and their legal status is still not, is still kind of murky because our immigration system is so broken. And as a result of that, they may get some kind of even a minor infraction, and they end up getting deported.
Think about what it takes, the courage to leave one's own country to come here for a better place, and also to express a sense of gratitude. Even the sons and daughters of immigrants. I come across so many, like myself, who are the sons and daughters of immigrants who want to give back and say thank you to the country. And one way of doing it is serving in our military, and so we want to celebrate that commitment and support.
On a moral basis, if you are willing to give your life, sacrifice years of your life, in some cases, you're putting yourself in harm's way, that should mean something when it comes to citizenship and the right to participate in this thing we call the American dream.
My words of encouragement for not only veterans, but anyone. Life is not going to give you a crystal stairs. And as my mother always said, nothing beats a failure but a try.
I have words of encouragement to every veteran out there, my brothers and sisters. Never give up. Whatever you need, no matter how many times you may have been denied for anything in your life, especially if it's through the VA or anything like that for your benefits, keep trying, keep moving forward, ask for help. We are in this together. We're brothers and sisters to the end, and we never leave anyone behind.
My words of encouragement are to get involved in the American Legion. We have a variety of programs that support the veteran and the veteran's family. It's a tremendous organization, and we're there to help that veteran in any way we can.
You're watching the Veterans Business Journey, where we celebrate the achievements of veterans. Would you like to share your story? Drop us a note at vetsbizjourney@gmail.com.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor veterans to find out how you can help.
I wanted to be in the military since I was a kid.
I served in the United States Air Force.
I served a total of 16 years.
I was deployed 13 times.
On my second deployment, 4 bombs hit my vehicle.
And at 19 years old, that's the first time I ever saw somebody die.
Coming back, I was raging.
I started having pretty horrible nightmares.
I would wake up in the middle of the night, sweats.
I started drinking a lot.
I felt worthless.
I guess I never recognized it in myself.
Eventually, one day I just walked into the VA hospital and said I'd like to see somebody.
Don't suffer alone. You gotta find that link with somebody that'll make you let it go.
It all starts with going to the VA. There's a whole community of veterans that just want to help you out.
It's for the guys who couldn't come back, so you owe it to them to live well, because they're not here with their families.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation, with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
As we celebrate the holidays, let's not forget the 1.3 million men and women on active duty and the 450,000 stationed overseas in potential hotspots around the world.
I know that all of us here today realize what a gift our nation's veterans are to the United States. Our country is no greater example of duty, honor, courage, service, sacrifice, discipline, and integrity. And I think said so well with the Maverick Award through Senator John McCain. The representation of these brave men and women, they are the ones that have fought throughout the generations for the freedom that we enjoy in this nation to secure and defend what is most valuable in the United States. And we're forever grateful for all they have done for us.
The Hero Zona Foundation has stepped up in a big way to help veterans in Arizona and those returning home.
I think vets have made the ultimate sacrifice for their country, and I think it's a privilege for employers and people want to give vets a hand up, not a hand out. Vets want a hand up and not a hand out because vets don't mind working. They have the discipline skills. They will actually be on work on time. They just the greatest thing you could actually do for a company is to hire a vet.
The nonprofit organization was created to help veterans find work, start businesses, and accessing educational opportunities.
When veterans or military service members transition out of the military, sometimes it's really difficult for them to find the resources out there in the community to access. They're moving from another state, they've been in the military and they've been very secluded, so they don't really understand what the landscape looks like when they get out. And so these are just things to help them make those connections to get to the right resources.
Recently in Phoenix, the Hero Zona Foundation and Arizona Department of Veterans Services held the second annual Heropreneur National Veteran Business Summit. The event attracted numerous companies interested in hiring veterans and provided workshops on starting, running, and succeeding as entrepreneurs.
This is outstanding. Very informative information for the veterans.
How do you think it helps them?
It helps a whole lot because a networking project gets veterans to understand a significant impact and what they could get into, what they could achieve, and resources.
Some of the veterans, they don't know how to translate their skills into the civilian sector, and you help these individuals out once they have their resume and you have their employers right there. Also, dress for success. If they don't have the right attire, they'll help them out there as well.
We want the veterans to leave with knowing that they actually have somebody that really wants to help them, where it's just not giving them any type of job, where they actually they can actually provide for their family and they feel good about doing it. And also we want the employer to know that they actually got somebody that represents their company better than anybody else would by hiring a vet.
I think it's also important that our Heropreneur National Veteran Business Summit wouldn't have happened without the great support of companies like APS and many of our other supporters that have kind of stepped up, that are supporting veterans here in Arizona and nationwide to find themselves to the next level. So we really, really appreciate all the support we've had and just the community basically coming together for veterans so that we could actually create this event. And we look forward to building this event year over year with our founding partners.
I served at Desert Storm. I'm a proud veteran of the United States Army. God bless the United States of America, and God bless all our veterans.
The Veterans Business Journey is about honoring our veterans and celebrating their achievements. Among the many important achievements of our veterans, was the creation of the American Legion in 1919. It's an organization that continues after 100 years to make a difference in the lives of millions of veterans, their families, and the community. The American Legion will soon celebrate 100 years of service to veterans. It is a powerful force and the nation's largest wartime veterans organization with 2 million members and 13,000 posts.
We have 39,000 members in the American Legion Department of Arizona. I'm very proud to be serving each and every one of those members. It's important to me to maintain the advocacy, which is part of what we do, to make sure that our veterans are taken care of, to make sure that our healthcare system is fully staffed. We can only do that through the numbers, and we can only do that as advocates for our veterans. And this is done, obviously, in the halls of Congress.
Its programs, American Legion Auxiliary and Sons of American Legion, make a difference in hundreds of thousands of lives each year.
Our youth programs are one of the best programs, I think, but we also offer our children an opportunity for scholarships. We take care of those children left behind when a parent is unfortunately killed in action. It's called the Legacy Scholarship Fund. We raise over $1 million a year to take care of those children, and we take care of them in a way that they would continue their education and receive their degrees at no charge to them.
The 4 pillars the American Legion was founded on include Veterans Affairs and Rehabilitation, National Security, Americanism, and Children and Youth. Each of these pillars encompasses a variety of programs that benefit our nation's veterans, its service members, their families, the youth of America, and ordinary citizens.
The American Legion soared from 0 to 685,000 members in its first 8 months. That was a century ago. There was no direct mail program, no internet. Telephones were scarce. The Legion was built on personal contact and engagement, one-on-one, veteran to veteran. I'm American Legion National Commander Brett Reistad, and I'm asking you to join me March 10 through 16, 2019, the week leading up to our 100th birthday, to make contact with veterans in your community for a National Week of Personal Engagement. Let's do our founders proud by moving with strength and momentum into our 2nd century. Visit legion.org/membership to learn more.
My words of encouragement are, be kind to yourself first, always. And then you can be kind to everyone, always. And when you're kind, you get everything you want.
My words of encouragement is do what's inside your heart and do it right. If there's something you want, something in life, do it. Don't let nobody hold you back. A lot of times our parents, and even I said to my kids, you know, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. You know, that's fine to tell the kids to do the right thing. But in time, as we get older, then we decide that's not really what I wanted to do. This is what my passion is. This is what I want to do in life. Then go out and do it. But do it right, and do it with an education.
My words of encouragement to a veteran, first of all. You must realize what you have to offer. It is tremendous, and it's becoming more and more important every day, and that's your work ethic. all the things that you learned, showing up on time. You think that is not a very big deal? It is a very big deal. I have to be able to count on my people. So that work ethic. The team, you have to be able to communicate and work with people around you. Regardless of whether you agree with them or like them, it has nothing to do with it. It's the mission. You have to accomplish the job. And that, most military people, all that I've met, understand that as though it was obvious.
This is the Veterans Business Journey, where we celebrate the achievements of our veterans. Would you like to share your story? Let us know. Our email address is vetsbizjourney@gmail.com. Our website is vetsbizjourney.com. You can also find us on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be back in a moment. The Veterans Business Journey is made possible in part by the American Legion Department of Arizona, veterans serving our communities, and Sigma Cuts, School of Beauty, the sum of everything beautiful.
You served your country in a time of war. You probably learned a few things about yourself, about being part of something bigger. As a veteran, your life of service has just begun. Help your community, your country, and your fellow vets, and have a good time doing it with people who get you. The American Legion. Be part of the legacy. Share the vision.
I wanted to be in the military since I was a kid.
I served in the United States Air Force.
I served a total of 16 years.
I was deployed 13 times.
On my second deployment, 4 bombs hit my vehicle.
And at 19 years old, that's the first time I ever saw somebody die.
Coming back, I was raging.
I started having pretty horrible nightmares.
I would wake up in the middle of the night, sweats.
I started drinking a lot.
I felt worthless.
I guess I never recognized it in myself.
Eventually, one day I just walked into the VA hospital and said I'd like to see somebody.
Don't suffer alone. You gotta find that link with somebody that'll make you let it go.
It all starts with going to the VA. There's a whole community of veterans that just want to help you out.
It's for the guys who couldn't come back, so you owe it to them to live well, because they're not here with their families.
I'm a veteran. We hit a mine in Vietnam. When I came home, I didn't know where to turn.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
My victory's been never giving up hope. My wife is always there to remind me we have a life to live.
DAV provides a lifetime of support, helping veterans of every generation get the benefits they've earned.
I am a veteran, but after I got out, I spent 2 years alone and homeless.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans so they can reach victories great and small.
My victory was finding the support to get back on my feet. Now I'm getting things right with my family.
I finally admitted, with my PTSD, I wasn't doing well.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
Now I wish I'd found DAV sooner. I am a veteran. My victory is just enjoying each day.
Help support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Today, more than ever before, women are on the front lines of America's defense. These brave women struggle and sacrifice to help keep our country secure. They deserve to be recognized for their service as guardians of freedom. Please support the American Legion's efforts to serve the growing number of women veterans. Go to legion.org/honor-veterans to find out how you can help.
The Arizona Department of Veterans Services is there to provide direct services to veterans in Arizona. For Wanda Wright, the director, there's one issue that concerns her the most.
Well, right now, as a department and I think as a state, we're really working on veteran suicides. We have a very high rate of suicide. The risk is 3 times higher in Arizona than the nation. And for our older veterans, it's 4 times higher. And so it's very, very important that we try to figure out some strategy to reduce these. And the Veterans Affairs, of those that commit suicide, only 30% are engaged in their hospitals or their benefit offices, which means the community has to figure out those other 70%. And because we're the state veterans organization, I feel compelled to address the issue. And how we've been addressing it so far is through our Be Connected program. BeConnectedAZ.com is the website, but it's a way for us to help veterans early, before they get to the crisis mode, to fix whatever problems they might be having, so they never get to the point of crisis where they want to commit suicide.
I didn't want to talk. She just sat with me. That was all I really needed.
We got back. One day he called me out of the blue, and it's comforting to know that I always can count on him to have my back.
She called me from time to time. I really didn't think I needed any help.
It took me from being really depressed to feeling like somebody cared. It gave me some hope. Just that one text.
Be there. Your call, your presence, your words, your support. Be there and help save a life.
My name is Daniel Flores, and words of encouragement are selfless service and sacrifice continues after service. So let's help out our other veterans as well.
My words of encouragement are the whole country needs to step up and make sure that we're doing the right thing to support our Iraq and Afghanistan veterans. We have many of them coming out of the military, and they need all the help and support that we can give them. They've earned it.
My name's Don Bergeron. I'm the commander of District 11, past commander of Post 134. And my words of encouragement to young folks nowadays is my military service served me very, very well while I was in the military and afterwards. I made good use of the GI Bill. I got a 4-year college degree out of it.
My words of encouragement entail perseverance. Persevere, no matter what the task, no matter what the challenge. I think mostly if you're persistent and you persevere, you will be successful.
This holiday season, take a moment and thank a veteran for protecting what you hold dear. Tell him or her you are proud of them. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jesus Hernandez.